Bradford City continue their 2024-25 league campaign with a trip to local rivals Harrogate Town, and in today's video you're going to find out how both teams have got on so far this season and what my starting 11 would be if I was Graham Alexander. Now my team Bradford City, we've had a positive start to the season on the whole, but recently we have been a little bit inconsistent, just one win in our last 4 matches. We currently sit 8th in the table. After 7 games we've got 3 wins, 2 draws and 2 defeats, scoring 9 goals and conceding 7, which leaves us on a positive 2 goal difference and 11 points. Our last couple of matches then have been a draw, a loss, a win, a loss and a win. Them last couple of matches then been a 0-0 draw at home to AFC Wimbledon. A really frustrating game. Both sides had a few decent chances in the match, but on the whole a point probably was a fair result, and obviously both clubs have been charged due to an incident which happened in additional time, but again I still put that down to the referee letting frustrations boil over. Just before that we had a 3-0 win away at Midfield Town in the Football League Trophy. We were brilliant in this game. Yes, both sides made a lot of changes, but we were absolutely excellent, and to come away from a very good League One side with a clean sheet, 3 goals away from home, absolutely excellent. No complaints from me whatsoever with that performance. There were some really good standouts in that game. Before that one we had a 2-1 defeat away at Walsall, losing in the last minute. Again we picked up a number of injuries in this game. We had to change formation at half time to a formation we not played for nearly a year, and obviously in the end we did end up conceding quite late on. Danny Johnson free header in the box, really frustrating to lose that game in all honesty after Clark had obviously missed an open goal. We also had a 2-1 win at home to Carlisle United. Great for Andy Cook to finally get his goals against Carlisle. We definitely did deserve the win. It should have been a clean sheet as well. Sam Walker obviously threw one into the back of his net, but he has saved us at times in his 8-9 months or so that he's been with the football club, so I guess you can allow him a howler every now and again, and obviously it didn't cost us 3 points, it didn't cost us any points come the end of the match. And we also had a 2-2 draw at home to Newcastle United's under-21s, losing 4-3 on penalties. We should have comfortably won this match. We were much the better side, and unfortunately we just couldn't be good. We weren't good enough in both boxes and we couldn't quite get over the line, and obviously they did go on to beat us on penalties, so really frustrating match that one. Compared though to Harrogate Town, they couldn't sit 20th in the Sky Bet League 2 table. After 7 matches, they've got 2 wins, 1 draw and 4 defeats, scoring 6 goals and conceding 10, which leaves them on a -4 goal difference and 7 points. Their last couple of matches then have been a loss, a win, a loss, a loss and a win. In terms of them last few results then, they had a 1-1 draw on Tuesday actually at home to Liverpool's under-21s. Jack Muldoon scored in that game. They were definitely the better side in terms of chances created and all that sort of stuff. Liverpool had a lot of pointless possession, but having a look at that Harrogate side, it was pretty full strength in all honesty. You know, there's a lot of players who started in that game who you'd expect to probably start at the weekend, so they were clearly going for the match minutes and all that sort of stuff. They also had a 3-0 defeat away at Crewe Alexandra. They were never really in this game in all honesty. Crewe were comfortably the better side. They had a few half chances, but Crewe absolutely ran them ragged, and I think away from home Harrogate normally do struggle, but at home they're quite good, as just before that they had a 2-0 win at home to Doncaster Rovers. In terms of the stats, they didn't really deserve to win the football match. Donny had more shots on target, more possession, more passes, better pass accuracy, less fouls and even less offsides as well, more corners. You know, Doncaster were better in every statistic and somehow Harrogate came away with the 3 points, but that's what happens when you're better in both boxes. I caught the last 35 minutes of this game, and Harrogate obviously were 2-0 up at that point and we're just happy to see it out. Doncaster I don't think we're really at the races, and Harrogate is not the easiest of places to go. It's one of them really small grounds where the fans seem to be right on top of the pitch, and they're one of them sides who have that underdog mentality, and it can obviously lead to results like what we've seen in this one. They also had a 1-0 defeat away at Cheltenham. Tom Bradbury scoring in the 92nd minute. It was a fairly even game in all honesty, not really much to separate the two sides, so obviously a 92nd minute winner was probably going to be the way the game was going to be decided. And obviously we saw Bradford City loanee Sam Stubbs start as a right centre-back in that game. I hope Cheltenham are not playing him as a wide side centre-back for the long term. And they also had a 1-0 defeat at home to Barrow, where again they comfortably deserved to lose the match despite having more of the ball. Barrow had the better chances and in the end just about managed to edge it. So a lot of their games have been tight apart from their recent league defeat against Crewe, but I'm looking forward to this one. We don't traditionally do very well away at Harrogate though, which is a little bit of a concern for me, but I think obviously when we think think back to the playoff season under Mike Hughes, managed to beat them 2-1 away from home. Before we do go any further though with today's video, don't forget to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit, let's go for 50 likes on today's video. I was going to go for 70, but this is not the main channel. Can we hit 50 likes? That would be massively appreciated, and get your thoughts in it down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below what is your score prediction for this match. What would your starting 11 be if you were Graham Alexander? In terms of my starting 11 then, I would stick with the 4-4-2 formation. As we know, we've not really got many centre backs available. Kieran Kelly's going to be out for a few months. Callum Johnson, he's out until January sort of time, and obviously Burnham Baldwin are still a couple of weeks away, so it does have to be a back four, and I would stick with the 4-4-2. In goal, I've gone with Sam Walker. Didn't really have much to do against Wimbledon, in all honesty. I don't think he had a save to make in the entire match. They had a shot which hit both posts, but Walker literally had nothing to do. His distribution was okay, so not really a lot to say about Sam Walker. Into my back four then, at right back, I'd go with Brad Halliday. I feel like you need Halliday's defensive ability away from home. I think he gave a penalty away there last season when obviously they beat us 3-0. I think it were a handball offence, and I don't think J Ben was amazing in the opportunities that he's had so far. Yes, they have been very limited, but I think you really need to stand out to take Halliday out of this side, especially at this moment in time. So I'd stick Halliday in at right back. In terms of my two centre halves then, firstly I'd go check Diabate. I think he's been brilliant since he's come in on loan from Exeter, and I think it's quite likely he will be recalled in January, so I hope we're already kind of looking for Czech Diabate's replacement, because he's more than good enough to be playing in League One. He's been outstanding so far, was excellent at the weekend against AFC Wimbledon. He's been an absolute rock for us so far, and I think he got the man of the match again against Wimbledon at the weekend. And partnering him, I'd go with Jack Shepherd. At the weekend, that was one of the best centre-half performances I've ever seen. Diabate was brilliant, but Jack Shepherd was just slightly better than him. I gave him a 10 out of 10 from the player ratings that I did obviously with Corbin on Sunday, and how many times are we going to see a centre-half get a 10 in player ratings? Probably never going to happen again, but he was so good. On the ball, brilliant takes on players, defensively an absolute rock. Him and Diabate are going to form an excellent partnership for us this season. If we are to be successful, we need to make sure that these two are still with us come the end of the January transfer window, but I think them two have been brilliant so far, apart from maybe the odd sub-appearance we've seen from Jack Shepherd. The likes of Grimsby away, the likes of Walsall away, but when he starts matches, he is absolutely excellent and definitely should be starting again in this one. At left back, I've gone with Lewis Richards. I feel like if he's fit and available, he should definitely start. Obviously, former Harrogate Town player, so might be wanting to get one over on them, but I feel like from what I've seen of Lewis Richards so far this season, he's looked positive, especially in these last couple of appearances as well. Mansfield, I thought he was excellent. Obviously came off at the weekend. I think he had a tight hamstring, dead leg, something like that, but Alexander has confirmed he will be fit and available for this game, which is obviously massive news for us, as I do think he was probably our best attacking threat in that first half at the weekend, and obviously brings physicality on at that left hand side, so he definitely does start for me. In terms of my midfield four then, on the right wing, I've gone with Clark Adore. I don't think he was that impactful on off the bench against Wimbledon, but I'm not really sure that was the type of game for him. We kind of had to match them up for physicality, but with the amount of injuries, we couldn't really do that, and I don't think Adore's flair and creativity really shone through. He tried, he worked hard, he put some good crosses into the box, but that end product wasn't quite there, and I do think he has been a little bit inconsistent so far this season, so I'd like to see him get a start in this one, and obviously due to the lack of player availability, he's going to have to start. In terms of my two central midfielders then, at first I've gone with the captain, Richie Smallwood. I thought he was fairly average against Wimbledon, in all honesty. His passing wasn't particularly amazing, but nothing really too stand out for him, but obviously he kind of, I wouldn't say he causes the melee, but he puts the tackle in, which the Wimbledon players for some reason react like he shot somebody, and I think Smallwood in a game against Harrogate, he's going to be massive for us. That experience, that, you know, dogged sort of mentality to get us through it, I think he should start for me, and I partner him alongside Alex Patterson. With Jamie Walker missing last week, I don't think I'd be confident in starting him in this game. Obviously Patterson against his former side, he'll definitely be up for it, as I don't think their fans were particularly happy with the way that he left the football club, but he has been positive on the whole so far this season, has shown glimpses and flashes of him being excellent, but I think we need to see that on a bit more of a consistent basis for me, and I think Smallwood and Patterson have a good partnership in that midfield. They're not the tallest, but they're very combative in there, and Patterson's legs and energy will obviously be massive for us, so he starts for me alongside Richie Smallwood. On the left wing, I've gone with Bobby Poynton. I don't think Tyreek Wright did enough really at the weekend to earn another start. And I think in a derby sort of match, you've got to be up for it. I know that Bradford fans don't really like to treat it as a derby, but maybe that's the type of mentality that has caused us to be really unsuccessful against Harrogate, kind of giving them the little brother treatment. We have to take them seriously, and we do have to take it as a derby. It's not a rivalry, but it is a local derby. That's certainly how I see it. I see a derby based on location, and I see a rivalry based on everything else, really. You know, other instances like with Carlisle. That's just my personal opinion, and I'm sure some people will disagree. But Tyreek Wright or Bobby Poynton, who's going to be more up for the match? It definitely will be a Bobby Poynton. He'll give 110%. Tyreek Wright, you might be lucky to get 20% out of. He never really looks interested, and at the weekend against Wimbledon, it nearly cost us another goal. I think he definitely cannot play at left back, and I don't see enough really from him going forward. So Poynton should start for me on that left hand side. In terms of my two strikers, then at firstly I've gone with Andy Cook. No doubt he'll get manhandled and assaulted all game, and referees will probably give free kicks against him and book him for complaining. Not really much that he can do because the referees are all incompetent at this level, and Cook just gets assaulted all game, like what I've said, and never ever gets any support from the officials, which is so frustrating. But obviously he is our biggest goal threat, and I'd love to see him score in this one away at Harrogate, as he scored away from home in the league so far this season. I could be wrong, but I don't think he has. Partnering him, I'd go with Ollie Sanderson. I feel like when you look at the options, Smith, Kavanagh, Oliver, I'm not seeing enough from them sort of players to warrant starting over Sanderson, who obviously has a couple goals, couple assists so far this season, and I'd like to see him get another nod in this game. As pretty anonymous against Wimbledon, and I do want to see him get involved in the play a lot more, drop in and deeper, link the play up, because he's very good at doing so. So for me personally, I go with the front two of Cook and Sanderson. On the bench then for me, that would leave Colin Doyle, Jay Bennett, Jamie Walker, Tyreek Wright, Tyler Smith, Callum Kavanagh and Verden Oliver. The players currently unavailable are Aidan Baldwin, Neil Byrne, Kieran Kelly, who is going to be out for a few months after having an operation on his ankle the other day, so that's a big blow and a big loss for us. Callum Johnson, Anthony Sarcevic and Joe Adams has been and seen a specialist regarding his knee, so again he'll probably be out for another couple of months. The injuries at Bradford City at the moment are absolutely crazy, so the players who miss out then through selection will be Zach Cady and Gabriel Wadsworth. We are down to the bare bones at this moment in time. We have 4 centre-backs injured at the moment. Absolutely crazy. Hopefully though, Byrne and Baldwin should be back for next week. Do we play, is it Newport on Monday next week? I'm pretty sure, and obviously we have Morecambe on Tuesday. That didn't really make sense. We've got Morecambe next Tuesday, and then we got Newport next Monday, but technically it's next because it should be on the Saturday. Hopefully that makes sense. Score prediction, you'll have to wait until tomorrow over on the main channel to check that one out. I think that's about it, all I've really got to say for today. Hopefully we win. I won't be there. There will be a live stream with Corbin over on the main channel, so make sure to check that one out. For those who are obviously more SHD viewers, that's the first time that has been announced. But Corbin will be in the watch along at the weekend, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you all later. Peace.